really, you want to lecture us? Rotten Tomatoes is a fine site, but you're using it wrong. Guess what? We can't use it anymore at all, Scott Mendelson, because they have disabled the user ability to go in and vote whether or not they want to see or not want to see a movie before it's released. So you're wrong. We can't use it at all. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and Scott Mendelson just wanted to write a little article here. I want to call it a fluff piece that basically insults consumers and people who are just kind of going about their day saying, what's going on in the world of Rotten Tomatoes? What's going on in Forbes? This is me Googling. And they come up with this and like, what do you mean I'm using Rotten Tomatoes wrong? What if they don't know about the whole Captain Marvel controversy and they're going to see this and they're going to say, oh, I'm using it wrong. Okay. And they're going to take offense to that. Or they're going to go in and read your article and be like, what the hell? We can't even use it anyway. Yes, we're using it wrong because we can't use it at all. Because they have silenced and censored our voices. They don't want us to say what we really think about a movie. And even if it is something that is a very fair consensus of Captain Marvel, like, hey, it looks kind of meh. It looks kind of boring. It looks kind of blah. You still need to be able to say that, whether or not you're even hearing her sexist or racist or even taken out of context comments. Whether you've heard any of that stuff for the star for Brie Larson, you might just have looked at the trailers and been, it looks like another superhero movie. We don't care. We'll just wait for Endgame. And that's what's going to happen. And you're going to silence people's voices for that. For people going, yeah, it just doesn't look that interesting. Hey, the cat is the coolest thing in the movie. You know, legit, real criticism. Like, I would probably go in and type into Rotten Tomatoes, well, the cat looks like the best thing in the movie. Because I assume somebody in marketing and research, in PR, in social media, and social relations, or whatever they would call the job, would go and look at those and see what the fan feedback is so they know how to market the movie. But no, they don't do that. They just kind of tell us what we're supposed to like, what we're supposed to dislike, you know, that, oh, we're supposed to be all girl power by male bashing. And it's just so mind-boggling. This is just, he takes a few shots. I read through this. I don't want to read the whole article here. He does take a couple little shots here, again saying they're trolls who have bombarded our movies with female and minority leads, especially films with female or minority leads. Seriously, dude? Seriously. We're bombarding certain big movies with female or minority leads. What, like Ghostbusters or Ocean's 18 or whatever the hell it was? I don't know I don't remember which number. Ghostbusters 2016, however, I do remember. And I don't remember it being that huge of a deal, but like I said, I was barely paying attention to this stuff. I was barely watching videos on it. I wasn't digging through articles, finding out everything I could, because I was doing gaming streams back when Ghostbusters came out. Dude, the only reviews I see, Scott Mendelson, the only time I see these reviews that are even fake are for the positive side, like for the Netflix She-Ra series, Star Wars Resistance, Captain Marvel. They all had fake, false, positive bot reviews coming in. And that's one of the problems with it. And you guys are now silencing people's voices to say, hey, we don't like how you're marketing this movie to us. What are you going to think? This cannot do well. This movie drops in like less than 2 weeks. And they're taking down Rotten Tomatoes, and as you guys have been following. And here just goes on to say, yes, it's an aggregator. Who cares? It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter anyway at this point. And yeah, I read through all of this, and I'll link it if you do want to read it. And I just don't like the fact that they want to get on there and still spin. Here we go. The audience score is different as a different beast, with the percentage being a number of opt-in users that rate a film at least 3.5 out of 10. And yes, we've seen in the last few years the system can be duped with a flood of negative user reviews for Ghostbusters. Here we go. This is what I kind of am remembering now. You're bringing it back. The Last Jedi, Ocean's 8 reviews, creating a sharp critic versus audience disparity you're likely to see on the site. Maybe that's because you're telling us to like movies that are shit. You're telling us no matter how many times you're coming up to this with this shiny little ball, we know it's just the polished turd that the Mythbusters polished. So you can polish a turd, it's still a turd, and you're gonna keep passing this shit off at like as fact. You're gonna keep telling us that Ghostbusters was good, The Last Jedi was good. I didn't see Ocean's 8. I don't know if that one was good or not. I don't care. It was just an unnecessary reboot, and it didn't look interesting. You know, I'm sure it was an okay-ish movie, but if it's anything like these modern R-rated comedies, or any comedy, like Ghostbusters 2016, not funny, in my opinion. Just mean-spirited, male-bashing. I don't want that. And I'm perfectly fine with just being, you know, without these movies. We need to be able to speak our minds and say, hey, this is not a good movie. Do better. I'm not going to pay for shit. Give me more for my money. Oh. Is it all because of sexism and racism? Well, maybe not. But there's usually a pattern when it comes to well-reviewed movies that get awful audience user scores. Usually it's the opposite, where a movie that gets mixed or negative, like Alita Battle or Bohemian Rhapsody, or negative reviews like Venom, generally gets strong audience figures. In those cases, the average viewer score are usually disproportionately high, but because the most favorite fans are likely to vote, and because there's a desire to pump up the average. Maybe you guys just are voting, and I'm calling it voting. Maybe you guys are just reviewing it out of agendas and out of whose pocket you're getting paid out of. Maybe we don't trust you. Maybe we have to kind of go in and actually review these movies. Like if we go and saw Alita and actually left a, hey, I saw this movie, I really liked it, here's my positive review, or Venom, or Bohemian Rhapsody. Maybe it's a good idea to go and leave that positive comment. Because how are people going to know that those are movies worth your while? Like you always say we complain and we bitch and we moan and we're trolling and we're trying to bomb movies. What about when we go and try and organize and say, hey, this was a good movie. If you like this genre, you would like this type of movie. Because we can't trust you guys. We know you critics are bought and paid for. You guys, even if you're not bought and paid for, you're hoping you're bought and paid for. You're hoping to get a screener. You're hoping to get a little early tidbit so you can get the news out there an hour before everybody else has it on the internet. And we know what you're up to, and this is why Rotten Tomatoes failed. It's failed. It's done. We don't need to go over there and look anymore, and I'm kind of worried now. What am I going to do for Rotten Tomatoes videos? I've made like the last year growing the channel, making fun of them. It's still, I mean, we're still going to see the critics shilling like idiots. We're still going to see the stupid SJW people who only review movies and TV shows based on how diverse they are. And we're still going to call those out and laugh at them. But seriously, we need to pump up the good movies. How else are they going to know which movies we like, what we liked about them, what we didn't like about them, what we'll accept, what we'll pay for in our films? You know, we have this huge, and I'm not telling you guys to do this, there's a huge number of people who want to pay to see Alita again and then sneak over to Captain Marvel. You know, there's a huge number of people who are boycotting Captain Marvel because they deleted the reviews, or the polling, the early comment section on Rotten Tomatoes. Is there anything else wonderful in this article? The site was originally supposed to be a place for users to read a bunch of reviews for a new release, and especially as they have increased efforts to diversify their critical base beyond just white guys over/under my age. Does it really matter if you're qualified to review a movie? What does the color of your skin matter if you're qualified? I don't understand that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hippie. Who knows? they still serve that purpose, but it's up to you to actually use the site for its intended purpose. It's up to you to understand what the tomato meter does and doesn't mean, to glance at the average critic rating and then maybe, heaven forbid, read a few readers from critics you trust or enjoy. It's up to you to use common sense and judgment. This is what I've been saying. When you notice that a superhero movie is starring an outspoken female is getting butchered in the audience polling portions and potentially put two and two together. Yeah, like they're marketing it as, let's show these boys how it's done. I don't need no man. The future is female. This is what they're marketing it as. Whether she said those things or not, they were still marketing. Look at my channel. I've got a video that says the future is not female. Before Brie Larson had even opened her fat mouth, or her skinny mouth, I should say. Point is, before she even opened her mouth, I was saying the future is not female. And that video got demonetized, by the way, because I have an opinion that doesn't conform to the overlords of the internet. As a one-stop shop for critics, consensus, trailers, photos, and showtimes, yes, actually click on this link to get the author's website and help them make money. Reviews, Rotten Tomatoes is exactly what's intended to be. Oh, here we go. You're just mad that, you know, we just show your articles and we just read them. Is that what it is? I bet that's it. No, I will link this article in the description below. This one actually isn't that bad. Normally, Scott Mendelson's are just taking shots at us. He's not as bad as Matt Miller from Esquire, but he's not so bad. I mean, this one wasn't terrible. It's still a little insulting. It's still pretty much going over a lot of the stuff we've already gone over before, a million times over. I just hate it when they insult the fans and the audiences. It's getting old. It's really, really getting old. And we can change this. We have the power to change this. You know, we have the power to say, no, we're not going to pay for a movie that is marketed in an insulting way. We are not going seriously. If this was Captain America or Iron Man and they marketed it that way, where Robert Downey Jr. comes out and says, let's show these chicks how it's done, or these bitches how it's done even, do you think anyone would stand for that? Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I am Mecha42, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye! Thanks for watching! If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!